March began with another friendly game against European opposition as Moscow Dynamo visited Loftus Road. Don Shanks, John Ollins and John Beck replaced regulars Clement, Webb and captain Jerry Francis. It was a tight encounter with the Russian side causing us a few problems, but a header from Frank McClintock gave us a 1-0 win. Now, quite why we played that game is a bit beyond me. And a week later, we played another one with a testimonial for Ian Morgan against Watford. We won 6-0 in that one with a double from Dom Shanks and goals from Bowles, Leach, Givens and Phil Nutt. I can't imagine a side in the same position in the league as Q.P.R were at that time, playing extra friendlies around the league games, but that was what we did back then. In between those games, we faced a really crucial league game at home to Coventry City, and we do so without Don Rogers, who was sold to Swindon, with Peter Eastoe joining Q.P.R from the Wiltshire club. Rangers were joint top with 3 other sides, but Derby and Man United had no league game that weekend due to the FA Cup, so it was a real opportunity for both Q.P.R and Liverpool to pull clear of the pack. Captain Jerry Francis was back in the side in place of Mick Leach, and we took an early lead through Dave Thomas to go in at half-time a goal up. News filtered through at half-time that Liverpool were 2-0 down against Middlesbrough. That news seemed to inspire the team, and we ran riot in the second half. Francis made it 2-0 after a wonderful move involving Dave Clement and Stan Bowles. Don Givens added a third before Don Masson added a fourth to seal the win. A late consolation from Coventry did nothing to dampen the mood, and news that Liverpool had lost at home to Middlesbrough meant that Q.P.R were 2 points clear at the top of the table, although the 3 teams below us did have games in hand. It was a trip to Merseyside next, as we took on Everton at Goodison Park, a stadium where Q.P.R had never won before.
Lions. Ollins' tackle didn't take, and Lions, let's go! Tremendous work there, but Gary Jones was taken by surprise by the first save from Fox. Tremendous drive from all of 30 yards. Parks, on the edge of his 6-yard area, did very well to get down and block it with his arm, and Gary Jones following up, couldn't get it in the net. Francis. Thomas. Clement got into a good position and was given a good pass. Nice little chip across too, and there's the goal from Bowles. Stan Bowles finishing off a very simple move. Thomas playing it on for Clement, who'd got ahead into a good position. He'd shown us earlier he could cross the ball. That time he played the little low soft dink, and Stan Bowles was running round to tap it into the net. Oh, there'll be a lot of thinking going on those benches. That's Steve Burtonshaw on the right there with the moustache, the Everton coach. Goodless. Parks gets in a punch. The header back in, and it somehow reaches Parks. Parks punched it out. Dobson headed it back in, and there was a deflection which took it straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Goodless. Telfer got a bit of a lucky bounce there and could make the most of it. It's come down to Bernard and he's put it over. Bernard pounds the ground. But he really had a chance there. It was a good cross, and an acrobatic leap by Parks, punched it out, but straight to Bernard, and Bernard struck it well over. All back, I would guess, about 8 yards. Masson. And with his first touch of the ball, Leach puts it in the net. He'd been on the field as long as it took Queen's Park Rangers to line up the free kick, and what a happy man. So simple. Don Masson, an expert with the dead ball, just curving it over the wall, and there, stealing in, was Leach. Nobody picking him up, and in it went.
So our first ever win at Everton ensured that we stayed top of the table. Stan Bowles scored his first goal since November. Liverpool stayed second with a 1-0 win over Birmingham, thanks to an 83rd minute penalty from Phil Neal. Man United were third after a thrilling 3-2 win over Leeds, whilst Derby kept the pressure up with a win over Norwich. In midweek, Man United played one of their games in hand, but they could only draw at Norwich. It moved them up to second place, but it was a bit of a missed opportunity for them. On the 20th of March, just a couple of days before I was born, we faced Stoke City away, who we'd narrowly beaten earlier in the season. Now, we went into that game without the injured Jerry Francis, so the ever-reliable Mick Leach came back into the team. It was going to be a tough afternoon, with Stoke making it really difficult for Dave Sexton's men in a hard-fought game. We took the lead when Don Masson's free kick found Mick Leach, and his shot was deflected into the path of Dave Webb, who shot, but his shot lacked a little bit of power. But Peter Shilton fumbled the ball, and it slowly rolled over the line. They all count, and we have something to hold on to. We did have Phil Parkes to thank in the second half, as he made some crucial saves. And although we did have further chances to extend the lead, it finished 1-0, with Dave Webb scoring the winner in both games against Stoke, keeping us top of the table. Man United stayed second with a thrilling 4-3 win at Newcastle, whilst Liverpool had a David Fairclough goal to thank for a very narrow 1-0 win over Norwich. Derby also won again, 2-0 at Middlesbrough, leaving the top of the table super tight. Derby then had their game in hand at home to Stoke, but they missed the chance to go level with Q.P.R, drawing 1-1. But that point did put them into second place. The final weekend in March was another big one. Liverpool had to take on Burnley.
Toshak must be for Fairclough. It's his first goal that he scored at Anfield. Ball for Toshak, who let it go. Fairclough. Good piece of football by two players, and the youngster scores in the end.
Man United thrashed Middlesbrough 3-0 at Old Trafford, whilst Derby also won, beating Birmingham 4-2. So there was no hiding place for Q.P.R as Man City arrived in West London. Jerry Francis returned from injury in midfield, but we were without Dave Clement, who was suspended, meaning a first start of the season for Don Shanks.
Bowles and Gibbons. Bowles again. Jerry Francis gone on the far side of that area, and Francis is there with a header. There's Keegan. Royal. It's Masson's. Nice ball there, beautifully weighted there by Masson for Francis. Equally so for Don Gibbons onto the left foot. Well, he'll be annoyed with that. It was a lovely move, and the ball will take a fair bit of retrieving from that schoolyard. Right across that terracing from the ground. A lovely move, played beautifully into the path of Gibbons, and just where he likes to have them, on his left foot. And he'll be annoyed that he didn't do better than that. And a substitution being made for Manchester City. Joe Royal is going off. Injured a couple of 3 minutes ago. Kenny Clements coming on. Kenny Clements, who used to be an assistant groundsman at Main Road. Shanks. Free kick. It's done well, Don Shanks, the number 2. Can't be easy to come into a side like Q.P.R so close to the end of the season when it means so much to them for his first game, but he's done really well. McClintock go then with the free kick. Gibbons right up there, Webb right up there, Hollins there too. Oh my goodness, how did that fail to go in? Beautiful break by Rangers. Hollins was right on it. It looked to be going into the goal, hit the post, came back. Webb tried to get it in, but fouled Corrigan, and a free kick was given. Manchester City foul. Owen beaten by Webb. Owen again, but beaten this time by Masson. Bowles beating Masson again. Gibbons might get to this one. Now, plenty of Rangers players are up. Dave Thomas is one of them. Jerry Francis has gone to the far side of the box. Bowles letting it run. A Across the goal there. Oh, and against the crossbar off Alan Oakes. Bowles says, what have we got to do to score? Alan Oakes clipping that one, and the ball going past Corrigan and against the City crossbar. Bowles. Francis. Bowles again. Francis again. Gibbons with a shot. Oh, a magnificent save by Joe Corrigan. Well, it was delicate play inside the box there, and it fell to the left foot of Gibbons. A tremendous shot. And a very good save. Play on, says referee Bosey. Hartford beaten by Masson. Masson and Francis between them getting in there. And a bit of an upset there as Thomas is involved with Hartford, and look at that. And the referee is having a trouble there, separating them all, helped by members from the Manchester City bench, and the fighting's going on there, all starting from nothing. Donaghy was involved too, being pulled away by Tommy Booth. Now, Hartford has been spoken to pretty severely once or twice by referee Bosey. And he set him off. Hartford has been sent off. And Mike Doyle inquiring the referee what that was about, and shouldn't he be doing something about Rangers as well. From all forward, Masson and Hollins, and then behind it, behind Don Masson, floating it in there towards David Webb. There it is! Webb has done it! David Webb has scored the vital goal. That desperate down of a footballer, and that's the fourth time this season he has scored what could be a very important winning goal. The little free kick, Webb was there first, a backward flick with his head over Corrigan.
What's been new about Rangers this year, do you think? I mean, it's been a wonderful run for you.
It certainly has. I think the way we've played, we've tried to adapt the continental way of playing football. Dave's a great believer in this, the Holland team, and we've tried to adapt our way of playing, and I think we've been quite successful this season.
So another really important win then, thanks to Dave Webb, who was brilliant at moving up front when Rangers needed a goal. That was his 6th goal of the season. 4 of them had been winning goals. His contribution was massive that season. We were, though, facing disciplinary problems, with Dave Thomas called in front of the FA after his scrap with Asa Hartford. Now, Rangers were fearful that a key player like Thomas could be suspended, so Q.P.R. fined the winger £100, a move that was applauded by the FA, and was a big factor in the FA deciding not to ban the player, feeling that he'd already been punished. Possibly a very smart move by the club, and it ensured that we'd have Dave Thomas available for those final 5 games. Q.P.R. had just 5 games left to play, starting at St James's Park, where Rangers had already lost once that season in the FA Cup. We'd also lost to them in the League Cup. It was also FA Cup semi-final weekend, and Man United were in action against Derby. So again, a chance to put pressure on 2 of our closest rivals. Newcastle had become a bit of a grudge match, with Malcolm McDonald criticising Q.P.R. in the build-up for a real lack of pace in the back 4, especially Frank McClintock, while Stan Bowles had been quite open in his dislike of McDonald after comments made to him when he missed a penalty in that FA Cup game. It was an unchanged Q.P.R. side, and we were ready for battle. Both teams had early chances to score, but it was the home side who took the lead. Alan Gowling, the scorer, heading past Phil Parks to make it 1-0. Q.P.R. needed a response, and we got one. Dave Thomas swung a corner in, and Frank McClintock rose high to head home, making it 1-1. A nice moment for Frank after the stick he'd got from Malcolm McDonald pre-match. Now, Dave Webb was not shy in letting Super Mac know he was around, with some crunching tackles. But the real rivalry was between Bowles and McDonald, and both of them were desperate to score, and both of them went close. Elsewhere on Merseyside, Liverpool were facing local rivals Everton, and they took the lead in the 88th minute thanks to that man David Fairclough again. With time running out, Q.P.R in desperate need of a goal. With just 20 seconds left on the clock, Rangers were looking to build one final attack. The ball came into the box. It was headed clear, but only as far as Stan Bowles, who steadied himself, and he shot left-footed without great power, but with Dave Thomas blocking the keeper's view, the ball found its way to the back of the net. Stan jumped for joy and just happened to be right next to his nemesis McDonald, producing this famous photo, a chance for Stan to have the final word. A great moment for Stan, but an even better one for Q.P.R. There was no time for any reply, and we stayed top of the league with just 4 games remaining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and check out qprhistory.co.uk for a full look back at this and every season at Q.P.R, and enjoy many other videos from the 75-76 season on this YouTube channel.